Jewelry in the USSR held a special place in the culture and economy of the country. They represented a unique blend of art, politics, and culture, reflecting the changes occurring in society over the decades. Let's dive into the history and features of Soviet-era jewelry. The beginning of jewelry craft in the USSR. At the start of its existence, the Soviet government adopted a course towards constructivism, simplicity, and practicality in art and fashion, declaring jewelry as a relic of the old world. However, by the 1930s, the jewelry industry began to flourish. In stores, inexpensive brooches, earrings, and pendants with bright inlays, based on pre-revolutionary designs, began to appear. At that time, institutes did not train jewelers, so artistic designers worked in workshops, creating copies of antique items. As the country gained economic stability, jewelry art began to come alive more and more. The Kostroma Jewelry Workshop began producing a small batch of gilded items. After that, small jewelry workshops started opening in Moscow, Sverdlovsk, Leningrad, and other cities. In 1936, 20 branches of Glavjuvelertorg were organized under the Ministry of Trade, operating in major cities. By this time, jewelry fashion was actively used as a means of propaganda to showcase the successes of the Soviet Union and support national traditions by creating pieces with national motifs. The rise of Soviet jewelry art after World War II. The jewelry industry in the USSR received a new boost, and the demand for jewelry increased. In the late 1940s, jewelry with national and folk motifs became popular. Major exhibitions dedicated to folk crafts were held in Moscow, Leipzig, and Brussels. In the 1950s, jewelers began creating authors' jewelry for self-expression. This was mostly aimed at improving their skills and learning new techniques. These creative pieces were often one of a kind and found their place in museums and galleries. In the 1960s, mass production of affordable jewelry began. This included inexpensive earrings, rings, and brooches that were accessible to a wide range of buyers. This trend led to mass-market jewelry losing its artistic value, while authors' pieces made from non-precious materials became popular among intellectuals. The 1980s marked the emergence of jewelry sculpture. Masters mastered the technique of creating mini-sculptures from gold, which were then incorporated into jewelry. This brought new life to the jewelry fashion. Designs became bolder and more free-spirited. Jewelers used artistic execution to showcase the beauty of the metal and the brilliance of the stones. Although factories still worked according to standards and produced a specific range of items, centers of authors' art began to open in major cities. Design features gold and silver jewelry from the Soviet era was known for its reliability and was passed down through generations. However, the assortment was limited and standardized. Popular design elements included geometric shapes and symbols associated with the achievements of space exploration and industry. Alongside this, traditional motifs were also present, including images from Slavic mythology and national patterns. Thin chains, brooches with natural motifs, pendants, and large wedding rings were in fashion. As for earring designs, Soviet women particularly loved lapti, samovers, sudarushki, kalachi, malinki, and tulips. Soviet jewelry not only reflected the fashion trends of that time, but also the changes in the society, economy, and politics of the country. These weren't just adornments. They were part of the history and culture of a vast nation, and their influence is still felt in modern design today. Visit the Juvelers Jewelry website to explore the similarities and differences between modern and Soviet-era jewelry. Subscribe so you don't miss more videos about Soviet-era jewelry.